since Dag said he forgot it was trash day, I figured it was a good intro.
Yeah, I was getting like, oh man, it's almost time for the stream, and I'm all rushing around, and the wife's giving me extra long explanations for everything, which is fine. I'm like, I gotta go, and then I'm like, oh damn it, it's Friday. I gotta get that trash out there. And then when you said you were running a couple minutes behind, I was like, yes, I make a coffee.
Did my trash hauling yesterday, but not too bad. How are you guys?
I like your picture.
Oh, thanks. It's casual deal.
Stephanie was commenting on how our trash hasn't been picked up in a while. I said, well, I'm pretty sure the truck came last week when we were all home and the dumpster was blocked, because if there is anything blocking the dumpster from them being able to just pull straight in, grab it, and go, they will not honk the horn, knock on the door, nothing. They will just buzz straight the fuck by like they didn't even see it. And then it's 2 weeks later before you're actually going to. Luckily, we haven't had a whole lot of trash or anything.
Well, what's funny is like we not ironically, but like silly enough, like we had trash pickup services just like we did in our subdivision when we moved out here to the middle of nowhere. But all those guys went out of business when gas and inflation hit. And there's a market here that I'm thinking about tapping into, just hauling trash for people. I could make some money.
Dude, it's I'm still intrigued. So many places now have like countywide trash. You just have to have like their trash service, basically. You know what I mean? It's part of your taxes. You get the trash can, they come, they pick it up, blah blah blah. But I remember growing up, it was like I remember my dad got pissed off at the people that we had picking up our trash and hired somebody else. Like you could just, they're just companies, and like you just hire the people to come take your trash. And then I knew people who didn't hire a company; they just burn their fucking trash.
And a lot of the times up here, it's just like Billy or Jim that owns their own big truck, and they you're paying them directly, and they just come pick it up, take care of it.
They just pay the fee at the dump and do the math and make it a business. Yeah, fuck yeah. My trash, it's like I got to make sure I get it out, especially when I remember like this time, like we make like one bag of trash a week, like in our house, like in our kitchen. We're not very wasteful people.
But 2 women and 2 kids, so
I'm sure you go through a bit. Ours is feed bags. Ours is bags stuffed full of other feed bags. So I just dropped off 3 feed bags stuffed full of about 10 each, other feed bags. And that's the majority of our trash. It's not a lot of actual mass, it's just a lot of volume, All right. That's what we call trash talk.
Well, I'm talking about that. We are out in the middle of nowhere, and so you have to have somebody. There are 2 different trash services out in this area, and there's one that does like the regular bins, and then they also do the big dumpsters, but they're big dumpsters. It's a little bit different. The one I've got the big 2-yard dumpster, and they come and pick it up every other week, and it's like $80 a month, which was great. So that's what I went with.
That's nice.
But we could, if we started like doing a better job of sorting our trash and keeping the burnable stuff separate from all the other stuff, I could probably get rid of the dumpster and just have like the bucket get picked up every week or whatever, because we don't generate a whole hell of a lot of trash. But I've kept the dumpster on because between cleaning out this garage, cleaning out that house when we did the whole renovation, and I've still got another big ass shop that I need to clean out. It's like I could fill that thing up. I could fill that dumpster up in a day if I wanted to. So
we've been debating getting a dumpster for a massive clean out,
So that's like the big reason why I've kept it and haven't really started enforcing like sorting the trash on the wife and kids, is because I know I've still got to clean out that shop, and I don't want to get rid of the dumpster until that's done, because I don't know where I'm going to put all that shit if I like.
And you want it done right.
Yeah. So
speaking of not knowing where to put all that shit. So I just all this trash talk. I watched a viewer thing plummet by like 87%. So let's get to the. So New York was trying to.
Corey checked out.
He must have. It's all we have. So New York was trying to send a bunch of trash to the Bahamas, and it ended up in Boston instead. Which I'm for sending all of our trash to Boston. just putting that out there. It's seriously though, they were these folks were trying to go on a cruise to the Bahamas here in wintertime, and I guess weather made them go to Boston, and they're pretty pissed. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, if you think you're going to the Bahamas and you end up in Boston, that's I would be pretty pissed too.
You're expecting people to speak Spanish. You're expecting Spanish, and the next thing you know, it's like, hey, throw the ball to Noma. He's wicked good.
This is the opposite of the weather I was looking for.
Oh shit! You guys cruise people? You guys ever been on a cruise?
Fuck no.
No.
Something about being stuck on a boat for an extended period of time just feels very. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my ancestors were the ones steering the boat, not the ones stuck on it.
Same feeling, but also trapped there with a bunch of people you probably don't want to talk to.
That's fair. You know, when the last I went on a few cruises, one to Alaska, and that was really cool. But
that might be the only way you can get me on a cruise is if it's Alaska and I actually get to set foot on soil.
Yeah, and it was nice. It was it was like a fucking Holland America. It wasn't like a Carnival, you know. It was pretty nice. But like my whole thing, the reason like I used to like them, it was like it forces you to like check out for a week because like there's no phones or nothing like that. But it's like nowadays, I'm sure everywhere's Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? I'm sure that you're not phoneless at all. You know, this was before smartphones last time I went on a cruise. So like that part of it's gone. So then it's like
a lot of cruises have like the same clientele that like you see at a Spirit Airlines terminal these days.
Yeah, or a lot of like foreigners, whatever country they happen to have picked up their crew from a year ago, Shanghai, their crew from.
If I'm taking a vacation that long with my family, because if we did a cruise, it would be the entire family. I like the Montana vacation where I can just disappear out into the mountains for a day and not have to see anybody because nobody's gonna hike 6 hours straight uphill with me, and I can just like bug out and not have to see anybody. That's if we're on a boat, knowing my kids, it doesn't matter how good I am at hiding, they're gonna find me.
At least there, they have to brave the wilderness and risk getting eaten by a grizzly bear to find you.
Yeah, and build some character in the process.
Yeah, and
maybe a cabin on top of a mountain.
They are not all about that character building stuff. I say that Sean has actually done. He has surprised me this week. He is so we're starting him on, or not starting, but kind of trying to really enforce more of a carnivore diet and getting into working out regularly and trying to get him in shape. And he's actually doing it. He's taking the diet part of it seriously, trying to eat right. He worked out with me every day this week, except for yesterday. Yesterday was first day back to school, and so he wanted to get a little more sleep before school, and I was fine with it. That was a good day off. But he's actually doing it. So maybe he'll stick with it. Hopefully, of course, as soon as we got to his mom's house for him to pick up his school bag and his lunchbox and stuff, he comes back to the truck with a fucking thermos of hot chocolate and 2 chocolate chip muffins. I was like, dude, these are all the things that we're trying to cut out. Like, he was like, Mom wanted me to. She said I needed to eat. I was like, tell her you ate. Tell her we had sausage at the house before we left, like carbs, sugars, dairy. These are all the things we're trying to cut out so that you can start losing weight. And he gave me one of the muffins, and I drank half the hot chocolate. And he actually did. He sent his mom a text and said, Mom, I'm trying to do better and diet, and all of this stuff is stuff that I don't need to be having. So that was, I'm proud of him. I don't say it enough, probably, but he seems at least this week he's making an effort.
Yeah, me and the big guy, we're we're doing a similar thing, but instead of like the ex-wife influence, we have a grandma that lives with us. So you can imagine the struggles that entails.
Just giving them all the treats and goodies.
Yeah, you have no idea. The only reason we have like I'm not like a candy or sweets person, and like seriously, the only reason we have any of that stuff in the house is because she moved in with us.
Sorry. Reading the headline here.
This is my treat.
Yeah, man. Ooh. Yeah, I need to get more into jerky, man. I need to start making my own jerky and such. We got to do those goats. We got to process those goats that got put off by that storm. Remember all this goat meat, dude. I was shocked by the amount of people who want to like buy goat meat from me. When I talk about doing the goats, the amount of white people who want to buy goat meat from me is even more staggering.
Yeah, I'm shocked at the uptick in that too as well.
Yeah, I think the beef and stuff is hard to find too. I think that's part of it. So I think people are just willing to take whatever red meat they can get, that's like small farmish. But yeah, man.
A lot of the small farms to get a cow, they charge a lot. Find one, like if you can find one that and you got a good in with, and like you're kind of a regular. My parents have one that they get a cow about once a year, and they get a good price on it, a good deal. He gives them a ton of the ground beef, but also different cuts and stuff. Like they get it. It's really well done, really well processed. But
yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have that.
People I've talked to that like try to do the same thing, they don't get nearly as good a prices as what my parents get with the one they use. So it's like,
majority of the time it's horror stories that I hear, dude. It's like, I didn't get all my shit. Even when it's like, oh yeah, I brought them the cow I raised. Like it wasn't even like the whole loophole thing of buying the half a cow. And it's like, dude, I didn't get half my shit, or it was cut poorly. And then of course some of the reputable people, they're selling it, more legally, and they their shit's expensive. You're $10 a pound. Yeah. It's which is, it's good, but it's like if you're buying a half a good deal on it, stock your freezer,
Yeah, it takes a lot to raise a cow because it takes so long for them to get the slaughtering size, and it takes like a lot of like land,
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason my mom is still doing beef cattle is because they have so many acres, But then again, they have to go through a third-party processor. Little Mennonite filler.
Oh, that's cool. Mennonites. Good for them. So what's
we got a lot of Amish around here. So
what's this Stephen Hawking thing? I've seen some Stephen Hawking memes. Was he on did they release the list of that person? I never know what's a meme or what's real or what's fake. You know what I mean? And I figure you guys just tell me what's real.
I don't know how much of it is real. But supposedly there are like court documents and stuff. I don't know how legitimate they are, but rumor has it Stephen Hawking showed up on the court documents. It looked a little something like this.
That feels so good.
Yeah. Like that.
Baby.
I thought about this all day.
Man, he really did some special orders for people, didn't he?
Well, like people were shocked like to see Hawking's name implicated in that, but it's like, wasn't the guy known for like having a penchant for hookers?
No, what are his other options?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't blame the guy. I'm just saying, like,
have a seat right over there. Oh fuck! Why am I drawing blank on his name? Chris Hansen, right?
Chris Hansen,
Catch Predator, dude. Why don't you have a seat right over there? He comes on the Adam Carolla show sometimes, as like a guest, which he's an entertaining guest, for sure. But is it Fitzsimmons? Some other comedian does like this like wicked good impression of him. So like he's had both of them on together, doing like talking. It's a fucking trip, man. Sex. I can't do it, but you know how it goes. Imagine somebody better than me doing that impression and then laugh. I never watched much of that show, but like the few episodes or clips I've seen are just fucking. I mean, obviously it's a serious affair. You know what I mean? But it's pretty fucking funny. Then the South Park bit. If you guys saw the South Park episode,
Yeah.
they did about it. That was fun. It's Chris Hansen. Yeah, Corolla was like, man, what I want to do for a party sometime is when people show up, have you like they don't walk into the party, they just walk into like Hansen sitting in like the front room, be like, hey, why don't you come on in? You know, we have the documents right here. You know, it's just
Did you get the invitation?
see who just runs, see who's got the guilty conscience. I'd hire Chris Hansen for a party trick like that. It's like Cameo, but you know, better.
God, that would imagine the look on the person's face if like they were doing some slightly shady shit, like nothing particularly illegal, but something that maybe they didn't feel real good about. Then they see Chris Hansen and they're like, holy fuck, I didn't think it was that bad. What the fuck?
Even if you're totally innocent, you're not going to feel great. You know, you're going to go, there's nothing good that can come of this. You know, like even if it's a total misidentification, total misunderstanding, whatever, it's not going to feel good. Who was the lady? Who was the what was she? She was like totally white, but she was like the head of like the NCAACP or whatever. Now she has an OnlyFans.
Oh,
she's pretending to be black.
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, that's it.
My girl. She does cameos.
Yeah, that's what I was. I have no idea how to spell her name. That's why I was looking up. You guys see where like they like somebody hired her for cameo and like tricked her
into the 1350.
Yeah,
that was the comedy show that I watch. One of the fans paid for her to donate to them, and that's where that came from. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here, they're based out of your neck of the woods. This is the one, I think. Yep.
Hi, this is Rachel Dolezal sending congratulations
Royce
to the
Mersch.
% crew for hitting 55% this year. That's amazing. When 13% of the company does 55% of the work, you deserve recognition. But truth be told, it's really more like 6% getting it done. So you know who you are. Congratulations on your success. And this message is from your regional manager.
I don't want to get us like popped, but one of the recent things from their show was I don't know if you guys know that Rob Smith guy who's part of the Conservative Inc.
Yeah.
So that name sounds familiar, but no, I'm
some of the those Fuentes fellows were like giving him a hard time, and they were calling him the F slur, and he made up that they were calling him the N-word also, and everyone's like, no, that didn't happen because all the footage is out there. So now they're using Rob Smith as basically to say that N-word F slur. That's what Rob Smith means. And fans of that show are going to like AEW and WWF shows. Hey, there it is. Magoo knows what I mean. And they're holding up signs.
I don't know. I don't follow. I was trying to find this Cat Williams thing. I saw something about Cat Williams, but I didn't. There's just a lot of crazy shit about Cat Williams, so it's hard to sift through.
Let a naysayer know.
I've seen a couple clips of the Cat Williams thing, and after I saw like a couple clips,
the stolen joke,
I stopped because I need to sit down and watch the whole thing. Like Cat Williams is Cat Williams
Illuminati
dude is fucking great. So I want to sit down and just watch the whole thing. I don't want to have it soiled by all of the clips.
Oh, he's going after my man Luda.
What was it? An interview or something?
Yeah, it was an interview with Shannon Sharp.
Oh, okay. Oh, Club Shay Shay. Oh, interesting. Well, that's cool. Well, Cat Williams, I remember a few years back, and I mean this over a decade ago now. Jesus. I had some friends that I worked with who were like really into Cat Williams. White dudes really like Cat Williams. And like they had tickets to his show, and he had like this whole string of shows he like canceled for exhaustion or drugs or some nonsense, and that was one of them that they went to go, and he didn't perform. But so I know he was going through some shit years back, but I haven't heard much from him since then.
He did some.
Yeah, I still need to look into the Miami thing, Magoo.
He did some. He did some movies and stuff, like nothing big. They were kind of running with his popularity at the time, kind of movies. But I mean, the dude is brilliant and hilarious, and
I like his. I like the like Atlanta, like that kind of like pimp like style, kind of thing that he has. Like like it's kind of gay, but it's not really gay, because it is like it's pretty pimping, but it's kind of like gay, but it's like kind of like classy, but not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That kind of.
It's very metrosexual. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, metrosexual blacks. They got that southern flair to him, though. Is he from? Why do I think he's from Atlanta? Watch, he's from like New York or some shit.
I kind of feel about Cat Williams the way I feel about, which I talked about Dave Chappelle earlier in the week. And,
they're not. They're nowhere near the same class.
No. But I feel the same way about like clips from him as I do clips from Dave. Like you almost have to get the full context because he's a storyteller. Like the way he does his jokes and stuff. It's not like one-liners. He's painting a picture and telling stories as he's making jokes, and so. He'll set
up stuff like
it's hard to like sit down and just watch the little clips because there's a ton of shit that came before it and after it, and like the clip is in the context or is taken out of the context of the rest of what he's been saying. So like I hate to just like watch clips.
And Chappelle, he'll set stuff up like in the beginning of his act, and then like 45 minutes later, it'll pay off.
Right.
So, according to Wikipedia here, and this is also according to Cat Williams, the Williams family were devout Jehovah's Witnesses, which Williams states was a contributing factor in his decision to leave his home as a teen. Williams has stated that he learned to read at 3 years old and was communicating in multiple languages, including French and Creole. An avid reader, he recalls reading 3,000 nonfiction books a year, which is like 9 books a day or some shit, between the ages of 8 and 12 years old. He emancipated himself from his parents at the age of 13 and moved to Florida and supported himself as a street vendor. It says he was born in Cincinnati and was raised in Dayton, Ohio.
Street vendor.
Yeah.
Emancipated.
Yeah. It's a thing. It is an odd word for it, though.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense in like, the literal, littoral sense. But yeah, I mean, obviously this context is a joke there, Okay, so yeah, not Atlanta at all. There I go, just like stereotyping people based on the way they talk again.
Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah. Well, amen, dude. Trust me, they're just people and they're probably douchebags.
Yes, from Naysayers on Monday, Rob Smith, and now Monsters last night in Miami 2024 is awesome. Y'all see this?
I missed. I just saw all this. Like I went to bed early last night, and then I feel like Dag because like in our group chat, like Dag wakes up and it's like, what? All right, you gotta like sort through all the messages. And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. And then I saw like Dag was replying. I'm like, oh, I'm the one left out this morning.
Yeah.
So apparently there's like 8-foot tall monsters in a mall. They said that it was teenagers were fighting, but
did the Miami Heat go to the mall?
Holy shit!
There were reports that there were like 200 police officers at this mall. Like
I don't know. I know Dag doesn't make it south much, but this just sounds like spring break for Miami these days. Do you remember, was it last year or the year before where they shut down the bridges and enforced the curfew?
In Miami?
Yeah.
it's I don't care for it down there. Pretty much everywhere in South Florida is Miami to me.
Yeah.
I've actually been working down there a little bit the last couple weeks, and yeah, I don't know. I get in the city, do my job, and get the fuck out. Then it's just like a 3-hour drive through sugarcane fields and cow fields, cow pastures.
It just seems like an excessive response to teenagers looting or fighting.
Oh boy, if you've been keeping up with Miami the last few years, it might not be that excessive.
Check this out in Philly. You know, that's why you don't fuck around. By the way, it's not that graphic.
But did someone in fact find out?
Yes. So these two dudes have a dispute and decide to get to throwing hands.
Fighting Silent Bob.
But then the fucking train comes.
Oh no!
Yeah, fucking killed him, dude. I guess they're looking for the guy, and they want to charge him with murder.
It's Kevin Smith.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Damn.
That's why I don't go fucking around, man.
And that's just a Tuesday for the New York subway.
Yeah. What's that big news in Philly?
Right.
Oh, shit. It's fucked up out there, guys. It's fucked up out there. I think we're going to go... me and Wayne and his boy. There's a state forest like 20 minutes away. I think we're going to go drive the truck through the woods and maybe cook some hot dogs and get some fucking nature time today. I could use it. Said it's fucking maybe being in South Florida this week. I don't know, man. Get out in the fucking woods. I've been doing a lot of work in the garden here lately, and I'll go out there and have like a backpack of all my garden shit, and I go out there and like have like a radio in it, a Bluetooth radio, and I go to set it up, and I just like don't even turn it on, dude. I'm just like, fuck it, dude. And I just work out there for like 2 hours, and like just listening to the chickens and the birds and the nature, and I'm like, what the fuck do I want to listen to music for? Or God forbid a fucking podcast or something. While I'm out there in the garden, it sort of defeats the whole fucking purpose,
It's soothing. It's weird, man.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's like I got to really force myself to go out there. Like it's almost like work. Like I just want, it's the end of the day. I like to do it in the late afternoon, and it's the end of the day, and I just sort of want to sit on the couch and crack a beer. And but I get out there and start working, and then it's like, oh my God, the sun's setting. I'm losing daylight. I'm out there for 2 hours, and I could keep going, but it's so relaxing, man. It's so, I don't know, dude. It's this modern world of ours is crazy. Not to get all Uncle Ted on us or anything, but you got to take some time, man, to decompress and get some nature in you.
He was on to something, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, he had a few good ideas, I suppose. I haven't actually read his thing, but I have a feeling I'd agree with some of it. Yeah, dude, Jacksonville is pretty fucking gross, man.
How dare you? Leonard Skinner and Fred Durst are from there.
Oh man, we just talked. I already went through Leonard Skinner and Van Zant thing on the last show I was on.
Yeah,
I think what was it? Towns Van Zant. I was saying. I think there's like some story where like he was huffing like airplane glue and wanted to do it in his sleep, so he put the tubes of airplane glue in his mouth and woke up with his mouth glued shut.
No, he didn't mention that. Holy.
Yeah. I think I was getting to that and didn't get to that story. But then I was like, well, which is it? Van Zant in it? Now I feel like I don't want to accuse the wrong Van Zant of being the one who glued his mouth shut with airplane glue.
I think I went off on
so many of them
talking about his son, who was like a fishing guy now.
Yeah, hopefully not that one. Although a lot of fishing guides I know don't have a lot of teeth. They might have glued their mouth shut at some point.
Are they necessary though? I mean,
not for being a fishing guide.
All right. I mean, you get a big one, get to pulling on it, crack yourself in the mouth. Teeth are just getting in the way.
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe it's just knowledge of living on a boat or spend so much time. I mean, you get scurvy, you lose some teeth from time to time. It's just a good fishing guide. Let me see if I can. Speaking of the Infredible D, let's see. So, if you guys didn't know, he wrote and directed and probably produced a movie.
I think you told me that.
Yeah, I'm sure I mentioned it. With John Travolta is the lead here. Let's pull up the trailer here. It's something. It's something. I mean, it's surprisingly a decent movie for being an Incredible D movie. John Travolta is an autist. Plays an autist, which is an autistic person.
Thanks for clarifying.
B-Dub stands for Buffalo Wild Wings.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Dunbar. Is Hunter Dunbar here?
I have seen this trailer.
Autograph. Don't let him do this to me. I'm a fan. I'm a #1 fan. Is it difficult to find famous people's houses?
I use my Star Map app. You have to be careful. I don't want you to be accused of stalking.
Hey, you can't just come to my private residence looking for me. Listen, pal, I don't know how you found me, but I don't ever want to see you in this neighborhood again.
I think it was an author or something. That guy I'm obsessed with or something. He's going into his house and shit when he's not home and being weird.
Help! I just wanted an autograph.
Wait! How do you mind?
Oh, it just clicked.
No.
That's the kid from Final Destination.
I'm just autistic.
I mean, at least if it's Kathy Bates that's kidnapping you and tying you to the bed and everything, you get the opportunity for the bathtub scene. I mean, with John Travolta, that's just so much worse. I know. Hard pass. Never.
My autist brain just kicked in. The guy he's stalking, that's the kid from Idle Hands and Final Destination, all grown up.
Yeah, I feel like he looked kind of familiar. Okay. Here's the funniest part. Here, I found this clip. This is the funniest part of the movie. Here, hold on. Let me cue this up. So this brings it all around to it being remember, Fred fucking Durst wrote that movie. All right, so check out this scene. And this kind of like I was like, all right, Fred, not bad. And then this scene happened.
Redneck fucker from Jacksonville.
Like a little Limp Bizkit?
Like Limp Bizkit?
Yeah.
Oh, the old self-insert.
Yeah.
I used to listen to this back in the day. This is hot.
I used to listen to this back in the day. This is hot.
That is nice. That is nice.
That's nice. Yeah. Like, oh, come on, dude.
But the thing is, it's believable because I'm sure that Devin Sawa did listen to Limp Bizkit back in the day.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Fuck, I had Insignificant Other. They lost me with the Chocolate Starfish one.
I'm trying to remember which one it was. There was one of those songs that
You didn't like the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack?
I guess not.
There was one of those songs that me and a couple buddies of mine in the computer lab at the end of the day, we had the song downloaded on our computers. And if we started it simultaneously at just the right time, the song would end as the final bell rang. And it would be loud enough with our three little shitty computer microphones that everybody in the class could hear it. And like that was how we ended the day every day. I can't remember which song it was now. Damn, I'm a terrible Limp Bizkit man. That was our thing. And at first our teacher would get mad about it, and then she finally loosened up and was like, all right, they're gonna do it every day. I'm just gonna roll with it. It's not like we're doing anything for the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds of the day anyway.
Or when he did the cover of Behind Blue Eyes, and the people that I worked with at the time were like, oh my god, it's so good. And I'm like, I don't know, man, this cover's kind of gay. And they're like, you just don't know music. And I was like, no, like I like the original, I guess, but Limp Bizkit didn't need to do this.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't necessary. It was unnecessary.
Yes, dude, that's how I describe a lot of covers. Like, what's the Luke Combs or whoever who just did Fast Car? It's like enough covers, and I like a lot of Fast Car covers. Don't get me wrong, the original's great, and I like a lot of Fast Car covers. But his was just—it's not great. Like, it's nothing special. and it's like you said, unnecessary, bro. Just like fucking Disturbed, like their whole thing now is doing unnecessary shitty 80s covers. Sorry, Corey. I hope I didn't offend you.
I did. I did really, really, really like Disturbed's cover of Sound of Silence, but then
a lot of people did. But
then they kept covering other stuff, and like, yeah,
that was the first one they did, wasn't it? It was either that or the
It was the first one that was like really
the other Phil Collins song.
Did they do In the Air Tonight?
No, they did the one. Fuck, what is it? Land of Confusion.
Yeah. They did. Land of Confusion was on an earlier album. I think that one came out on one of their albums when I was in college.
Yeah, that was one of the early ones. I remember delivering pizzas when that came out.
It didn't get a lot of like. I didn't think it got a lot of traction like Sound of Silence did. But Sound of Silence, he really kind of flexed his vocals on that more so, and it was some good singing, I guess.
I'll agree. I'll grant you that. Oh, is something going on with Steve? Was he trying to get in?
I don't know. He's traveling today, so I didn't think he was.
Oh, maybe he was just telling me that he wasn't anything on our end. It was his end. Okay.
Yeah, he was trying to log in and couldn't because he's traveling today.
It happens. I was semi-scheduled to work today, but I didn't have any work for me, so that's cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. I've always got plenty of stuff to do around the farm, and I'm on constant goat watch now. These girls, man. Oh my god. They have to be so close. They're so wide. It's insane. Got some chicks that arrived yesterday. It seems like they came directly here. So that's good. Got a new batch of babies.
Nice.
Yep. So rocking and rolling on the old farm.
We got a baby potbelly pig. That's nice, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's adorable. Is that just for like a pet or?
Yeah.
I assume the potbellies typically are.
Yeah, the two goats and the pig. Those are my wife's pets. Even though I take care of them more often than not. I think we talked about it earlier in the week. I am wanting to fence in an area back here and set up a pen and actually start raising hogs, and I want to build a hutch and start raising rabbits. But that's probably a little ways down the line. Actually, the rabbits might happen sooner rather than later. My wife's nephew is like a certified rabbit breeder in the state of Indiana now, and he built a big ass hutch and has way more rabbits than he knows what to do with. And I was like, tell him come over here one weekend and I'll get all the shit. We'll get out here and build a hutch, and I'll take as many of his rabbits as he wants me to. I mean, as long as he's cool with the fact that I'm going to raise them until they're big enough to slaughter, and then that's what I'm going to do. But when you got 30 rabbits, you kind of need to do something with them. I don't think you're particularly picky about what happens to them in the long run.
Yeah. That's why I tell people they surrender animals to me at the farm. I'm like, I'll take them, but I can't promise what's going to happen to them. Don't come back to visit in a year and be upset if they're not around.
My kids, their mom got some rabbits, and I think I talked about this the other day too. Like, they thought they were all females, and it turns out one of them's not. Or no, they thought they were all males, and it turns out one of them's not. And so now they've got babies, and now they've got more babies. And she's like, "See if your dad wants some of these rabbits." And Sean said, "If you give them to Dad, he's gonna eat them." And she said, "No, he won't. They're not big enough." He said, "They'll get big enough eventually, and then he'll eat them."
If he asks about feed conversion ratios, trust me. Oh shit, yeah. Oh fuck, man. I don't know, dude. I ain't got no fucking news. I guess this shit's fucking.
I know.
I just don't pay attention to anything anymore, dude. It's crazy.
There's a bunch of shit going on right now, and it's all. The problem I'm running into with a lot of the stuff that's in the news right now is, number one, what's the actual story? Because like a lot of it feels like it's still playing out. And number two, what are they distracting from? Like, why are we seeing all this shit? Like there's a jobs report that's coming out today, and they're already saying that the jobs report is going to be great, except that every single time that they've come out with a jobs report and said, oh, it's going to be great, they come back a month later and reduce it down significantly. So if you go and you look at the initial reporting of all of the jobs reports for 2023, they're all like, oh my God, amazing. We had a great jobs report. And then if you look at the revisions that were made to all of the jobs reports for the entire year, it's like, holy shit, it was really, really bad. Like way bad. Like I feel like there's more of that kind of shit that's coming out. We're coming off the holiday season, and I'm sure economic numbers are probably out there that are probably being released around the same time as we've got Miami Mall Monsters and the supposed Epstein client list that it is or isn't and will or won't happen. And, we got another shooter, but then that shooter, there's some, apparently it was another similar to the Nashville shooter. Like it was another trans type of a thing. Like there's all kinds of shit, but it all feels like it's just a bunch of shit. And I don't know how much I really want to. That's kind of why I'm going in a different direction with Fact Check This, is because I just want to have conversations with people and talk about stuff that actually matters.
Focus on the positive.
Yeah, I want to focus on the positive and talk about stuff that actually matters, as opposed to trying to dive into all of this insanity and not having any fucking clue what even matters. It's an election year, so it's all going to be bullshit.
Dude, it clicked for me like the other day when I had to write 24 for the first time. I was like, oh, that's weird, which it always is the first time you do it every year, right? But then I was like, oh my God, it's an election year again. I was like, I remember when it was like 2 years ago, feeling like, oh man, it's gonna be right around the corner. Oh my God, it's gonna get crazy. But I mean, dude, I agree, man, and it's kind of why I took a little bit of a shift too in the last few years to just like, you know what, dude, because it's I'm reading RFK's new book. Like I like getting into some shit that just, if nothing else, is interesting or makes me mad. But at some point, you just have to accept that I can't do much about that. And what can I focus on? What can I affect? And that's me and my family. And so I've really, a lot of my content that I consume, both like reading and listening to and stuff, has really shifted a lot more to practical shit. You know what I mean? I spend a lot more of my time trying to learn to do things. That's
my 3 foot rule. Just if it's not within 3 feet of me, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Well,
circle
that's like
and what have you.
I'm trying to focus more on like the newsy type stuff. That I do look at is stuff that actually can have a substantial impact on people. Not just talking about like the stuff that's out there that, it's probably important to know this, but at the same time, there's really nothing you can do about it. Like it's stuff that doesn't get talked about. Like I don't want to do that as much as talk about stuff that is actually like impactful, stuff that actually is going to directly affect you, and how can you deal with it. No, I do not know Noah. I'm gonna go with Kaniga, and he's from the wrong part of the state of Indiana. He's basically from Ohio, and also I only live here. I really I'm not a Hoosier. I just am a resident.
Hoosier?
I'm still a Kentuckian at heart. So I don't pay a lot of attention.
I hear Kentucky's pretty this time of year.
Well, y'all got anything else? I guess we talked about it the other day, but we'll do February 2nd will be the first night before of 2024. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of feel like we should talk about January 6th or something, since it is tomorrow, but why? We can talk about it on Monday. Maybe there will be a reenactment over the weekend or something.
We said February 2nd. Okay, that makes sense. I was looking at the 6th, and I think because of what you just said, I went to the 6th, and I'm like, that's a Tuesday. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Cool. Night before. All right, now it's officially on my schedule.
You know what's messed up about this kid is he's white. Like, I mean, y'all got
what is he? I'm not familiar.
Football player.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! That's like his real name.
He's I think he's being recruited by West Virginia and some other D1 schools, but he's a white kid. Also, there's an Iowa cornerback who will be he's declared for the draft and is likely to be the first white corner ever drafted in the NFL in the first round. So that's something we're making our comeback. Yeah.
I'm on board with no. That kid played my position. I was a D end outside linebacker. He's my spirit animal these days.
So this story, this happened in Florida. 14-year-old shoots sister dead during argument over Christmas gifts. So two brothers got in a fight and one shot the other. All right. But you got to listen to their names. Okay. Her brother, DeMarcus. Okay. And her other brother, Darkus. Names are Darkus and DeMarcus. Come on, guys. Come on with the naming. I know a million other stand-up comedians have made this bit before, but come on, man, you can't name your boys Darkus and DeMarcus.
And Darkus is the older one. He's 15, so that means Dad wrote it down. That means one of the parents wrote it down wrong on the birth certificate. They actually wanted to name him DeMarcus, but they fucked it up, and they're like, "Fine, we'll get it right with the next one." And they just rolled it.
Oh my god!
We're not changing them. It's already on. It's already written down. We don't have an eraser. Like, just it's there. We'll just go with it. We'll change the name on the next kid.
Dude, that's such a good point. I even noticed that because you do at the age because it would be DeMarcus would be the firstborn, right? It'd be DeMarcus, then Darkus. Like even if it wasn't an accident, and that was the point. Like you do DeMarcus, and then I don't know Darkus, But like, dude, that's hilarious. That's got to be what happened. Ah, shit! I told you should let me write it in. You can never do your letters.
See, this is why
yes, sir.
I am fully in support of the the authoritarian utopian future where you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and get authorization to have kids and stuff. Otherwise, you just end up with a bunch of retards breeding.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.